Yes. So I was coming back to decorators. So decorators is an important topic in PyTest as such, because PyTest heavily relies on use of decorators. Yesterday we saw in the demo lecture that there are certain annotations. If people coming from Java world remember the word, there are certain annotations, like for example, here we have seen in test calculator or py, this parameterized line number 11, it's an annotation. So if you specify at pytest.mark.parameterize, so this is an annotation sort of a concept that is in Java. In Python it is called a decorator. Okay, so we'll see that in some detail, not although not high detail, because we just have to use it. We don't have to write our own decorators. So we'll see the concepts and applications of decorators, and we'll conclude the Python refresher course with object-oriented programming fundamentals. I'll introduce only the fundamentals, sort of introduction only, because learning object-oriented Python is not a mandatory thing for learning PyTest. PyTest is PyTest is oblivious of whether your program is in object-oriented form or functional form or procedural form, anything like that. So PyTest is agnostic to that. So we'll just see the fundament and we'll just go through the basics of OOPS there. Okay, so let's get to work. First, we'll go, and if everybody is ready with their machines, you can download Python 13.1 from this downloads URL page. I'll share this URL on WhatsApp. Yeah, here it is. Here it is, Python URL. Then there is the PyCharm Community Edition URL. Okay. And then there is the VS Code URL. So you can exercise your own personal choice as to what you want to download and from where you, sorry, which ID you want to use. So that's up to you actually. So see, these three URLs I've published in the WhatsApp group. You can just install them. Remember not to use any paid versions because it will need buying of license and everything. So it's better if you use the free versions. Okay, so now, as you can see on my screen, I've installed the Python, sorry, PyCharm IDE, and the version that I've installed is about, this is the version 2024.3.1.1 Community Edition. Okay, so this is what I've installed. I've also installed Visual Studio Code on my machine, and that's about 1.96.4. That is the version that I've installed. Okay. And internally, I've also installed PyTest, but we'll see that how to install that in a minute. That's not very complicated. It's very simple. I mean, so we'll see that. Okay. So that's about installing Python and IDE. We'll just see a Python program as such. Let's see a Python program. I'll just write something here. If I say def welcome all, this is the function that I'm writing, and this is the string that I'm passing. And let's say we just print that string. Okay, and we just call them, just call the function with the string. Okay, and just run this file. You see, hello all is printed on the command prompt. So we are defining a function in the line 8 and 9. On the line 8, forget this add and subtract. This was yesterday's code that I showed for demo. You just have to concentrate on line number 8 and 9. So line number 8 and 9 is the function place where we have defined a function called welcome all participants. And we are printing that function accepts a string. That means a string of characters or anything that you give in quotes. And we're just formally printing that string on the screen. And then on line number 14, we are calling that function. We are calling the function here, and that will just print hello all. Okay, so that's the simplistically how Python works. Okay, uh, give me a minute, please. Yeah, so that's how Python will work for you. So you just have to run the .py file from this menu, and it will pick up the functions. Suppose if we have another function over here, so let's say def print count, say count, and it has the number of. I'm taking a non-string variable over here called count. Let's say it has currently we are 5. So I'll just say print count. I'm sorry. Here we have to give count. And here we'll give the number of participants that currently we are on the line. So we'll just say 5. Save it, and then we'll just run the file. Run calculator. You see, here you have printed the line number 1, line number 15 function call has happened. Line number 15 function call has happened, and on line number 16 we have printed the count. So whenever you run a Python file, essentially what happens is it will search for our function calls, it will search for the Python code and to run it. Now, why doesn't this lines create any problem? That is because Python knows that these are function definitions. They're not calls. So that is the reason why this code hasn't created any problems for the Python interpreter. Python interpreter knows that what is the difference between a function call and a definition of a function. Okay. So that's essentially how Python works. Now, if we were to learn about how to run these programs, then we have multiple ways to read it actually. Let's say I currently I just chose right click and then I did run calculator. So it just runs it, right? Instead of that, if you open a terminal, and by the way, this terminal feature is there in PyCharm and Visual Studio Code, both places, automatically given by you, given by the IDE. So if you say terminal menu over here, then it will open a PowerShell for you in the prompt. And then you can just say Python calculator.py. It will do the same thing. Okay, so either you can run it visually from this place, which gives the same output 5 and hello all, or you can run from the terminal like this Python calculator and it will give the same. It's basically running the same code. We are just running it in 2 different fashions. That's all the differences. So this Python is the interpreter which will pick up the calculator.py file and run the functions called in the file. Instead of the functions, let's say we directly had any code over here. That also we can do. Let's say for, I'll explain how to write a for loop, but I'm just demonstrating the Python interpreter right now. So I'll just write my code for I in range 4. Print I. Let's say this is the code. Say Control S. And we can run it like this. Right click, run calculator. See, hello all is the first function call, line number 15. Print count is the line number 16, and line number 19 to 20, the for loop has been executed. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the output. Sorry. This is the output of our calculator.py file. Okay. And if instead of this, if we do it through the terminal again, it will print the same thing because they're running the same code. So Python interpreter internally knows how to find out code and how to execute the code and how to differentiate between the code and the function definitions or the code implementations. That's why these things are happening here. Okay, so now this essentially was something about how Python works and how IDE works, how Python installation has happened. So anybody who is trying online, can they let me know if there are any issues that they are facing, or shall I go ahead with the next topic? And we'll be starting the Python data types now. So if you guys are facing any issues, just raise your hand. I'll just mark this on a different screen so I can know. Yeah. Hello, George. Let me know.
Right. So when I went to Python, I'm just talking about the installation now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when I downloaded Python from
Mm-hmm.
the Python application,
Mm-hmm.
it came up as like a command window. I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Can you share your
It,
screen? If that is that possible for you to share your screen? I can show you immediately.
yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, sure. There will be a share button besides on the top right corner for you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course, I can hear you. Very nice.
Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see. I think you are saying you're showing me Python, PyCharm, and right now it's showing Wikipedia. Yeah.
No. Okay. So I went on this site, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
and I downloaded Python. Then
3.13.1, 3.13.1.
yeah, that one. So
Okay, okay.
the this is it here.
Okay, did you double click the exe part and then it has installed everything for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's installed then. You just say, I'll tell you what to do. So what you have opened right now is the Python interpreter shell. That is the third way of running Python programs, which normally people do only while learning. It's cumbersome. It's not very easy to write long programs here. But if you want to learn, just say type print. You just have to type print there.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just said just type print there, print print on that
Okay.
command prompt. Yeah, there
Okay.
print
Uh-huh.
in brackets, open bracket.
Okay.
No. After print, you have to open the bracket.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. After print, open the bracket, open a quote, open a quote.
Sorry?
Double quotes, double quotes, double quotes.
Okay.
Hello, hello. Right, hello, hello, hello world. Close the quote and close the bracket and press enter. So you have already installed Python successfully, and what you are seeing right now is the Python shell that you are executing. So this is the third way, like I showed you, right? On my machine, I was using PyCharm, then I was using Visual Studio, and in PyCharm also I ran the file using the visual commands. Then I ran the file using the Python interpreter directly in the terminal. So there are multitude of ways where you can run the Python programs. And what you have shown here to everybody is third different way of running the Python program. So essentially your machine now has Python installed correctly. So that's not a problem with that.
Right. Okay. Now the PyCharm IDE, which you're showing us on the screen, do I need that? If I've got this one, do I still need that one?
Yeah, it's better because writing long programs on this bash shell is a bit cumbersome. You can install Visual Studio Code. It's quite easy to install and less loaded than PyCharm, because PyCharm takes a bit of time to download. It is few hundred megabytes, and then it takes time to download, some time to download. It requires JRE underlying, so all that stuff. So normally, normally PyCharm is installable easily, but if you don't want to use PyCharm, go for Visual Studio Code. It is very easy to install. That's also very easy to install. If you want, I can help you out here.
No, I've got Visual Studio Code already.
Okay, fine. Cool. Okay, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll share back my screen, guys.
Okay.
So, yes. Okay. So now you are seeing my screen, and we just saw that on the terminal, you can run the Python file like this, Python calculator.py, or visually you can run it like this. It will run, it will be the same results. That is what we saw. Okay, so now the next topic, since we are quite fast in here, we have managed to finish topic 1 and 2. We'll go and start our actual Python topic, that is point number 3 in the syllabus, that is Python data types and syntax. So let me open it. If you're using PyCharm, then just do right click new Python file and say data types.py. Not py, not necessary, right? You can just write this. So it has created a new file, data types.py. In this file, now I'll demonstrate to you different Python data types and their syntaxes. So the first is, if I put a hash, then it is a comment. Native types. No, sorry, not native types. First is numerical types. So that is int. So int. Sorry, that's a class. So, first is numerical types, then second is collections. Okay, so these are the two main types of data types used in Python. Now, what is a data type? Data type is nothing but a variable to store the value in it. So like, if you want to say string, if you want to say name, and it has a value called Mandar, then this is a string data type. String data type. Okay, then if you want to say age equal to 26, then this is the numerical data type. If you want to say, what should I put? Again, say, let's say age on DOB, that is date of birth, is time dot. It's not time, it's date time dot date. the time.date. Okay, so this is like, this is a built-in type from Python interpreter. Okay, so mainly in variables you can store anything. Unlike the languages like Java or C++ or any other, you don't have to specify type here. You don't have to say string name equal to Mandar. That's not necessary. So Python interprets the type of the data type from its value. So when you say name, forget the underlinings here. These are coming due to the software PyCharm. This yellow underline here, don't worry about it. It's not an error. It's just a extra check that PyCharm is doing. So forget that. What I was saying is in Python, these variables called name, age, and DOB, you don't have to specify the type of these variables before declaring them. You can just directly put data into it, that like, name equal to Mandar, age equal to 26, and DOB equal to datetime.date. So Python interpreter will look at the name variable, see that it has a string, and then it will reserve the space equal to that string into that memory. That's how it works. That's very simple. So in Python, essentially, what we learned is in Python, there is no type checking at coding level. Okay, that is what we've learned. Now, let's see collection data types. Collections. So the first collection data type is list. How do you declare a list? Let's say we are class members. That is the list we want to declare. Just say variable name equal to and open and close square brace. That declares an empty list. This will declare a list. And in the list, we write our names. Sachin, Mandar, Rahul, Will, Mohinder, etc. So all these class members is nothing but a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members now. And you can access these class members using the index operator. Say 1. See this. When you say print class members square bracket 1, it will print the number 1 index, that is Mandar. If you say 0 and save it and run it, it will print Sachin, right? Now, if you want to say print the total strength of the class is, now what I'm writing here is called an F string. I'll show that to you later on, but just bear with me. Len. Okay. So now what I'm printing on the line number 17 is length of the class that is out here right now. So if you just run the code, see the total strength of the class is 5. So length is a built-in function on list. Okay, so class members is the list on line number 15, and length is the function given by Python for us to check the length of the class member list. That's it. Now, if we were to say, now what is the application of lists? So list can be used where the amount of data that you have is needed to be accessed by indexes. Or second use case would be, to have a finite countable set of data, like, employees. Yesterday we were discussing about 1 million employees. So you can create a 1 million list of employees and everything. And if you are from CS background, then you should understand that list has a one access time because we are accessing using an index. So if your Python program demands that you need a constant access time of any member of the list, then you should any member of the data structure, then you should use a list. Okay, so that's it. That's how lists work. The second important collection type is dictionaries. Okay, so how to create a dictionary? Now, dictionary is nothing but a hash map. It's nothing but a map. Dictionaries, nothing but a map of key value. Okay, so dictionaries is nothing but a map of key value. What does it mean? So in Python, you declare a dictionary like this. Let's say, what should we pick up the dictionary as? Let's say contacts. Okay, and you say open and close brace and given equal to here. Okay, open and close curly brace. In list, you had open and close square bracket. In dictionary, you have open and close curly braces. Then you specify key and you say Bandar. You specify key, you specify a value. You specify key, you specify a value. Right? So contacts now is a dictionary. Sorry, I forgot to comma at age. Contacts is a dictionary. Now, how do you access contacts? Okay. Let's say you want to print the age. So just say contacts, bracket, age. Okay, so contact square bracket quotes age and run this. I'll show it to you. You can see it's printing 26. So accessing dictionary members via is to be done via the keys. So I'll dwell upon more on this dictionary part because it's a bit complicated to understand. On line number 21 to 25, what I've defined is a dictionary. It's a map, or also called as a dictionary. It contains a key, name is the key, and Mandar is the value. Age is the key, 26 is the value. DOB is the key, 1120 is the value. Okay, so essentially, dictionaries are nothing but name key value pairs. Okay, and how do you access the dictionaries? Dictionary key values, you just say contacts, that is the name of the dictionary, in square brackets. You just specify age like this. If you are to specify print contacts, let's say name, then you just say like this and name, age, and DOB. Print contacts DOB. Okay, so we'll just run the file, right click, run data types. See this? Mandar is the name, age is 26, and 112001 is the DOB, right? So that is one more aspect of dictionary. There is one more aspect of dictionaries. What you can do is you can, okay. Let's now see, these are the two collection data types which are important. Let's now see whether we can update a list. We can update dictionaries and update lists. So let's say if you were to say class members dot append. Okay, in close brackets we say what should we say? Dhoni. Print class members. Okay, now let's run the list. Sorry, run the file. See, if you have appended a new member to the class member list and you have printed the list online on this output terminal, you can see Sachin, Mandar, Rahul, Kapil, and Mohinder, which were the old members, and then Dhoni has come up to be the new member. What it means is you can append, you can mutate a list at runtime. That is what it means. Okay. I should this here. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. You can mutate the list at runtime. That is what it means. Now let's see whether you can mutate a dictionary. Contacts dot. There is no append function. Contacts dot update. There is no function available. So which means contacts dictionaries are immutable. That is what, or maybe in other words, there is one more way of doing it. Contacts in bracket address equal to Pune. Yes, so I was wrong in saying when it was mutable. It is, I think, mutable. Let's check. In contracts address. Okay, so or instead of this, what we'll do is we'll print contacts and then we'll add to the new member to it. I'll remove this old code, line number 34 to 37. Okay, so what I'm trying to demonstrate to you all is we can append the dictionaries real time also. So if you say run data types, then you can see I have on line number 31, I have printed the dictionary and it is showing name equal to Mandar, age equal to 26, DOB equal to 1/1/2001. And now I've added a new member called address. And now I'll say print. Okay. So, and I'll try to run it. Let's see if it works. It is working. So, which means list and dictionaries both are mutable. Both can be changed at runtime at your own will. There is no such thing as immutability. Okay. So what it means is we'll define here lists and dictionaries are mutable, meaning they can be changed once defined. After once defined, any time in the code. That is what it means. So list and dictionary. Now there is a third data type called tuple. Let's see what is tuple. Okay, so it is called tuple. Tuple. It is a way to put multiple values in a single variable. So let's say my variable name is my tuple equal to, and for tuple you use the round brackets. And let's say the tuple as orange, apple, banana, and you say print my tuple. Okay, so what we expect to see is run 100 types. We have printed the tuple orange, apple, and banana. Okay. I'll show you an interesting thing. Say my tuple. Okay, so I'll show that to you differently. Okay, so we can say we have printed the my tuple over here with orange, apple, and banana. Now let me, because we are on the topic of immutability on line number 36, where what I've written is lists and dictionaries are mutable. Let's check whether tuple is mutable. So we say my tuple dot add is not there. My tuple equal to, let's see, let's try to update it like this. Orange, apple, banana, guava, plus, and pineapple. Let's see if it works. Okay. It has worked. So, okay, it has worked. But then it shouldn't have worked because tuple is immutable. Why is that work? It is a bug in my code. See, on line number 40, I have created a variable called my tuple, and I'm line number 44, I'm overriding that variable again. So that's why it has worked. But essentially, tuples are immutable. You can't change tuples later on once they are defined. So if you see my tuple, there is no function to, update or append or add anything to the tuple. So tuple is immutable. You can't change the value of the tuple later on. Tuple is immutable. We cannot change it once it is defined. Okay. And accessing a tuple also requires index. If you say 0 over here, say orange is here. Okay. If you say 1 over here, then you can run here. You say apple. So likewise, it can be accessed using the indexes of the members. So the orange is index 0, apple is index 1, and banana is index 2. So that is tuple, right? So let me pause here for a minute. Anybody having any questions? Because we have moved quite a bit into the territory of Python. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to interrupt me. No questions so far? Okay, fine. We'll move ahead. So yeah, so what we have seen is we have seen what is immutability, what is list, tuples, dictionaries, and strings. Strings are nothing but character sequences. So this is a string. Let's say we can create a new string called message, which is equal to this is the call from Jupiter planet, and we are aliens. Just say print message. Okay, so string can have anything that is between two quotes is a string. So if you run this, so we have printed the message. So even this single variable, even this variable name had a string without spaces. And this message on line number 45 variable has a string which is containing a sentence, a set of words with spaces. So that's strings. So we have seen strings, dictionaries, tuples, and lists. Okay. So we'll now go back to using this applications of the learn data types. Okay. So now first application is list. So let's say we have marks, subjects. If you want to store something in the list that is countable, that is finite, that needs constant access time, you use a list. You say subjects, physics, computer science, electronics, mathematics. This is a list of subjects. Okay. This is a list of subjects. And as I said to you, we can append to the subjects list because it is mutable. So subjects dot append chemistry. Say print subjects. Just say right. So we have it right. We have declared on line number 52. We declared a list called subjects where we had 1, 2, 3, 4 subjects, and we have appended a chemistry subject. What we can do is we can say subjects dot remove. Okay, and let's say we'll remove computer science and again print subjects. Let's see what happens. Run. Okay, so we removed computer science from the list. So lists can be appended, can be removed. List can be what should I say? Items can be added to the list easily, removed from the list easily. It's very easy to do that. Okay, there is one more thing. Subjects dot pop. Okay, just pop to remove and return item at an index. Okay, so what pop does is right now remove call will remove the value given in it. So if you know the value in the list element that I knew that I wanted to remove computer science, then it's easy, just call remove. But if you don't know what the value, just you know the index, let's say in the pop, say what shall I put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And I'll say print objects. I'll say run. Oh, sorry. Did I do? Mouse. Yeah. Save it, run it. Okay. Index out of range. Why? Because index is 0 based. So you can see physics, electronics, mathematics, and chemistry. It's 0, 1, 2, 3. So I should do 3. So pop will let you remove elements based on indexes. That's the only change. Okay, see, chemistry is removed. We have only physics, electronics, and mathematics as the subjects. More functions in here. Dot. Pop, we saw remove, we saw append, we saw sort. Okay, let's see sort. Sort. Okay, so if we say sort and then say print subjects. Okay, we'll just run it, see what happens. See this, it has sorted it in alphabetical manner, electronics, mathematics, and physics. Okay, one interesting area, subjects dot sort reverse equal to true. Okay, sorry, I had some cough. So reverse equal to true, and we say print subjects. Okay, so let's see what happens. See this? So on line number 40, on line number 59, we have printed electronics, physics, and mathematics. And we have sorted the first, on line number 59, we sorted the list in a natural order. And on line number 61, we have sorted the list in the reverse order. So it has printed P first, M then, and E later on. So that's one nice, powerful feature of a list. I'll show you some more. Okay. Let's say you want to print the last element. Okay. We have a list. Okay, wait a minute. I'll remove everything out here. because we have seen all this, we've learned all this. We don't need clutter on the screen. Now we have 4 elements in the list and we need to access. We don't know what is the name of the last element, but we want to access the last element. What we can do is we can just say print subjects -1. Say run mathematics. So -1 is an index which you can give to print the last element or the first element from the last side. That is the reverse side. So if you give here -2, then you can just say electronics. If you give -3, you say here, then you have computer science. And if you give -4, and you say run, you have physics. Okay, so a negative index will fetch the elements of the list from the behind, that is from the reverse side. A positive index will do from the left side, that is the front side. So this is one more nice feature of list in Python. One more thing is called slicing, which is also very powerful. Let's say you have a list of okay, let's see, let's remove this list. Let's have marks equal to 89, 90, 50, 28, some numbers 36, 77. Okay, let's have these marks, some subject marks some student has got. Now I want to access a part of this list, not the entire list, but a part of this list. Like from 3 to, so this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? We all know that, right? An array or array in Java or a list in Python has this index 0, index 89 is index 0, 90 is index 1, 28 is index 3, 89 is 0, 90 is 1, 28 is 2, 36 is 3, and 77 is 4. Now let's say we want to only print the list from indexes 2, 3, and 4. So what we can do is print marks double colon 2 till end. Let's see if it works. I'll tell you what I've done. I'm using a slicing operator in Python, but let's see first whether it works or not. See 18 and 90. Start stop. Oh, I want to. I've done a wrong thing. So this double colon is called a slicing operator. The first field of the slicing operator is called start, then it is stop, and then it's the increment. Okay, that is the syntax. So what we need to do is we need to start from index number 2. Okay, stop at the end and increment as 1. So we just say 2 colon colon. We'll run it. 28, 36, 77. So we started from 2, that is 26. We printed 36, that is 3, and we printed the end, that is 77. So this feature on line number 55, it's an extremely powerful feature and it is called a slicing operator. You can slice the lists, and it ML and AI and all these use cases in big data sets, slicing operator comes very, very handy. So this is one more interesting feature for a list. Okay, so let me pause here. I'll stop sharing for a moment. I'll go back to the participant screen and invite some questions. We have only 3 minutes to end the session. So if you guys have any questions, if I have done too fast, if I need to slow down or I need to accelerate, please let me know, because we have covered a lot of things today. Tomorrow we will cover sets, We'll cover some important keywords in Python, and then we'll jump to functions directly because functions will take a while. So let me know if you have any questions, guys. I'll be happy to take them. No questions? Okay, sure. So let me stop the recording. Stop the recording. Stop. Okay.